What's up, guys? Big Lock Daddy here. Gonna come at you guys with like a little story time, I guess. Gonna talk about how I got into guns, mistakes I made along the ways, lessons learned. Guess I really regret the mistakes. It's just you live, you learn, make mistakes, and you recover from them. But I guess we'll go back to when I was a kid. I think I was 5, 6 years old. Started out with they call them the Cricket 22s now, but it was the Chipmunk back then. That was my first gun. Of course, my parents got for me. Parents, grandparents got me which. That's back when I was 5, and then as come up through age, I ended up with a Mohawk semi-automatic 12 gauge. So I started dove hunting, stuff like that with my dad and grandparents and all them. So I had the Chipmunk, then I grew into the 12 gauge, and then when I got into deer hunting, killed my first deer with we'll say a 7 millimeter, I believe is what it was. Nice gun. I remember it black, had the chrome barrel, loved it. It was my grandpa's gun. But 240, we had 243. We kind of deer hunted with the 7 millimeter and 243. And that's kind of what I had all the way up until I got grown. After I turned 18, I had a Mossberg that I bought myself. Had a few rifles, shotguns, and stuff. But I was really into looking to get into the pistols and stuff. Was wait until I turned 21, but before I could legally buy them or whatever. So we had the shotguns, the rifles, the hunting, all that up. Once I turned 21, I turned 21 in the summer of 2008. Sorry, you guys, if there's a glare from the light. It's early morning, getting ready to get the kids up to go back to school. Well, partly, COVID. Our kids here get to go 2 days a week. But fair, I'd film this before everybody gets up and it's hectic. But anyway, like I said, summer 2008, I was thrilled. Couldn't wait, till I turned 21. Turned 21, went and got pistol permits. I think it was a lot quicker back then than it is now. I think it took me like 7 days to get them back. I had it's 2000. This says 2008. I had a little boy, um, still living with my grandma. I think. Yeah, I think I was living with was between my grandma and my mother-in-law's house, back and forth there. Um, so didn't have a whole lot of money. Working at Food Line, and was looking to get my first pistol. I ended up going to a local gun and pawn store, and I bought the High Point C9. Had that gun, like I said, in the summer of '08, and I thought I was the shit. I thought that gun, I didn't know a whole lot about pistols, didn't have a whole lot of money. I knew there was better, higher end guns, but I really didn't focus on that because, like I said, I had a little boy at the time. I didn't have my own house. I was kind of, looking for something on the budget that I could afford. Never forget it. $129.99 High Point C9. So I bought it 2008. Had it for a little while, and then you get into guns. You do a little research. You do more and more. And I was like, man, this thing's heavy. I need to find something a little bit better. Still had it there for a while. Then I ended up buying a Jimenez JA380 from a local pawn shop. Never forget it. Neither bought it. It was that fall, I think right before Christmas of 2008. $90 out the door, $90. So, I thought I was a shit. I had my High Point C9 and my JA380, and they were heavy. I shot them and stuff. Then I remember, I want to say it was early January '09 or late December of 2008 when I seen it. But this video is actually still up. I went and looked to try to find the video. I ended up starting getting into YouTube. I had my old channel then. Just signed up, to watch like music videos and stuff. But ended up running across. Everybody knows him, and he wasn't near as popular then as he was just getting started. For the most part, he wasn't near as popular as now. But I remember running across Hickok 45's video, and it was him out there on the old compound, and it was a Glock 27. And I watched his videos and watched everything he had. And at that point, I said that was right after Christmas '08, early '09. I knew then that I wanted a Glock. I went to the local gun store, put my hands on one. Man, I was in love. Never forget it. I sold my Jimenez, and I sold my C9, my High Point, and I took the money I got out of those, and I put the Glock 27 Gen 3 on layaway. And I worked extra, and I done everything I could. I remember paying on that thing every week. I was getting right there at the end of the 90-day layaway, and I end up having to get in a week extension on my layaway to actually get my Glock out. Like I said, I was poor back then, real poor. But like I said, I had kids, I had responsibilities and stuff, and so I had to pay a little bit at a time. But I'll never forget it. When I actually was able to get that thing out of layaway, man, it was awesome. And that's when my love for Glock really started. And man, I had that gun for a long time, and I loved it. And after that, I had it. My next pistol was the LCP 380. I think they were released SHOT Show '08, but it was like a year in. It was early '09. That's when early '09 is when we got our place, and me and my wife got married, and that's when I got it. I got it right after we got married, and had it for a while, and that's kind of took off from then. The years after that, I got into buying and trading, and got into all the good stuff then. But just thinking back, back to starting out, you didn't. I wish back then I would have done a little more research, because a buddy of mine had a C9 a while back, and I was looking at it, and I remember back to them days, and it's all I had. I thought it was awesome. In comparison, that thing was a tank, and the JA was too, and neither one of those guns. The High Point was more reliable than the Jimenez. The Jimenez was a POS for sure. High Point had a few issues. I think it was more ammo sensitive back then. The one I had personally was, but like I said, I gotta thank for the love for Glock. Shout out would have to go to Hickok 45. He really put me in to the Glock game, and I never looked back. Like I said, I remember having that 27 Gen 3. It was a Cadillac. I loved it. I showed that thing off to everybody. Carried that thing forever, ever and ever. I don't know where that thing's at now. I think I ended up trading it for 26. I think that's what I ended up trading it for back when the Gen 4 got released. I think that's what it was. I can't remember. But like I said, this is a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, and don't want it to be too much longer. And I've kind of been all over the place, but just wanted to tell you guys my gun story. Of course, since then I've had a bunch of guns. Got into a little higher end, a little bit better. Learned a lot over from 2008 to 2020. In 12 years, I've definitely learned a lot, and the do's and don'ts, and been able to help a lot of people from making the same mistake I did. If I had to do it over again, with the first, I would have saved my money, and I'd have started out with something like a Glock, but I remember trading them. I got most of my money back from what I can remember, but it was definitely a learning experience. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hit me up in the comments below. Tell me about your first gun buying experience and how it went for you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you hadn't. Appreciate it, guys. Big Glock Daddy out.